Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm excited about bringing on my first guest who's been on with me several times, and she's also become a friend of mine, and I'm so excited about bringing her on. I have with me Karen ROSNER, and she is a financial coach. You are a personal financial coach, and I want you to talk a little bit about what it is that you do first. And then I want to talk a little bit about you, since I've gotten to know you on a personal level quite recently.
Yes.
So tell everybody a little bit about you and KMR Personal Finance Coaching and what it is that you do. Listen up, everyone.
I get women out of debt quickly. I empower women 40 and older to take control of their finances and to get out of debt quickly. And I'm not a financial advisor. I do not do taxes. I do not tell you what to do or how to invest in any of your money. I just tell you, I show you and empower you to save money and to get out of debt so you can have more money to you so you can invest later on.
Yeah, and it should enjoy your life. But a lot
Yes.
of people, we've been discussing this a little bit lately, how a lot of people, with the economy the way it is, has gotten themselves into debt.
Mm-hmm.
They
Oh,
can't
yes.
help it. And you have a story of your own personal story of how fast, and that's what it's all about, folks. I mean, you can get yourself out of debt, but maybe,
Okay.
maybe not, because somebody doesn't have the, the discipline.
Right.
But also, how fast can you do it? So that's another thing. So let's talk a little bit about how you did it so fast for yourself and for others.
Well, I got divorced. I'm happily divorced.
Me too. I'm
Yes.
sorry, Kenny.
It's just, I'm happily divorced, and then while we were going through the divorce, I got custody of my son, and then I was awarded $50,000 of debt. And I was great and happy about getting custody of my son, but not the debt.
Yeah.
So, and I had to work, and I had health issues, and I was making a lot less than what my ex-husband was making. But I finally buckled down. I tracked all my spendings. I sold whatever I could to sell to get extra money. I got roommate or housemate in for extra cash. And then I just really went on a budget, and I was there, and I had an accountability partner, and she told me no when I wanted to buy things that I really was not in my budget. I remember going shopping and looking at a magazine, and it was one of my favorite magazines at the time, and I'm like, it was only $1.50 at the time. Now it's like $5. And
Now you really can't afford it.
I know, really. But I texted her, I said, tell me no. She goes, no. Why am I telling you no? And I was like, I want to buy a magazine. And I got no with several explanation points at the end, and so that's how I kept on my budget. And within 20 months, I was out of debt.
Can you imagine within 20 months being completely out of debt? And yeah, you had an accountability partner, which is
Right.
what you basically are.
Right.
But you can help people with ideas and things of
Yep.
what to do, and you help them. You have that consultation with them, and you sit down and you do a plan for them, and everybody's different. You do like to work with women
Yes.
over 40, you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's a lot of times women do tend to get ourselves into a little debt, because we like to buy. The board operating manager, he says, yes, yes, yes. Probably has a girlfriend that spends money. Yeah. So she might need to call Karen. And I'm going to go ahead and give out that phone number because it's a perfect time.
Right.
Because, maybe it's you or someone that you know. If you can get yourself out of debt and do it on your own, first of all, how it basically empowers you, but also
Yep.
what it makes you feel like.
Right.
And, and today we do need that. We need tips. We need a budget. We need to know what we need to do it, and to have somebody there coaching us and making us accountable to what we do. Now, her phone number direct is 808-253 1157. You can check her out on her website, which is yourdebtfreequickly.com. Check it out because she's got a new website there for everybody.
Yep.
And she's really excited about helping people out there, especially women over 40, empower yourselves and become debt-free fast. And again, it's not about just debt-free, it's getting done fast. I have to talk a little bit about you. You know,
Okay.
you are probably one of the hardest, and I know a few, working women
Mm-hmm.
that I know. You don't let anything get in your way of anything. I'm going to tell you that right now, folks. If you're going to have a coach and somebody that's helping you, Karen is the one to call, because you've been through a lot of struggles.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have, but you've had some challenges that are incredibly difficult that
Mhm.
nobody probably could get over, and you have. And you have changed your life as well as other people's lives at all. How important, as well, not at all, as well. And how important is it for people to get those tips, to have that budget? How important is it for people to have that, and why can't they do it on their own?
Well, it's easy. It's good to have tips because people learn from the tips, and people can do it on their own, but they need accountability. Because the way I did it, I tried on my own before I got out of debt, and I'm like, well, I could do this, I could do that.
Yeah.
But when I had the accountability partner, and she asked me, well, how much did you spend on groceries? I'm like, well, I spent that much, and well, that's over your budget. And so she kept me within the budget, and that's what I do for my clients. I keep them within their budget, and I get them to where they're learning how to track their expenses. And I analyze what they're spending, and it's a shocker to them and an eye-opener. It's like, I don't spend $50 on coffee every week. Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you see, that's the thing is that when you do write it down, it's amazing what happens to your eyeballs.
Yes.
Because, you know, people don't realize, and it's so easy, and to spend extra money all the time. And a lot of us feel, we have, I think a lot of us are going through a lot, right?
Oh, yes.
So sometimes people will have a brownie, like I did today. I had a brownie, right? Because I felt like I want a brownie, right? And it makes you feel good,
Oh, yeah.
right? Comfort food. And, or they want to go spend,
Yep.
right? They'll go, oh, you know what, I deserve it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you can't get out of debt fast. Can you get out of debt? Sure.
Sure.
But it's going to take a lot longer. And to have that accountability partner, there's nothing like it. And she is the one to call, because let me tell you something, what she's gone through, and we're going to talk about that after the break, you will understand why having someone like Karen, just having you as my friend,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that, you know, and hearing some of the things that you say during when we talk almost every morning, is that that it's amazing
Mm-hmm.
what you'll do, and what some other people would turn around and say, you know what, I'll do that another time, or yeah, if I get to it. No, you don't get anything get in your way.
No.
And you even have a saying for that. What is that? It was one of the things you said.
They told me I couldn't. That's why I did.
And that's why she did. So again, if you think you can't, you can. Her phone number to call is 808-253-1157. Check her out on her website. It's yourdebtfreequickly.com. Hang tight, we're going to be back in just a minute. We're going to keep on going.
Okay.
Yeah. What is your favorite part about what you do with people when you are working with them? Okay, I kind of know the answer, but when you're helping them get out of debt.
Well, what I like is when I'm doing the analyzing of their tracking sheet, and I like it because they're amazed that, no, I don't spend that, and it's an eye-opener for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, really? And people that smoke, people that shop, and people that go to get coffee, they're not realizing how much they're spending.
Right. Smoking is huge.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it's expensive. It's
$8
an
a
expensive.
pack.
I know, and sometimes people are smoking, 3-4 packs a day.
Right, right.
So, which is amazing that they are.
And I bought I don't smoke, okay? I want my viewers to know I don't smoke. But I bought a carton of cigarettes for my nephew because he was in Massachusetts.
About 2 minutes.
He
You
was,
just want to roll through on the camera?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
he was, and my sister was there and she wanted to get money and get him a carton of cigarettes. So I bought them and she paid me back. And a carton of cigarettes is $106.
I had no idea.
I didn't either. I'm like, all right, take 5 20s and wrap them up and light them on fire. There you go.
Exactly.
And
How about
that's
people that gamble?
gambling, and that's addiction too. And
Right.
That's an addiction.
And there's another thing is that they think they're gonna make money
Yep.
to pay off those bills.
No, they're just not. And with the smoking and with the drinking the coffee, and people complain back a few months ago, they were complaining about the price of eggs because they were $5-6 for a dozen of eggs. But they don't complain when they go to Starbucks or any other coffee shops and pay $5 or $6 a day for a cup of coffee.
I know. It's amazing how much money people drop.
Yes. Nope. I
You okay?
Yep. It's my hair and my earrings.
So welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Karen Rosner, and if you're a woman over 40 and you want to get out of debt fast, she's the person to call. Whether it's you or someone that you know. What I love about this show the most, and I say it, I know I say it a lot, and I do love my show. But the reason why I love it is because people have a voice here and they get to talk and have a platform for talking about the things that they do, but more than anything for the listeners that they're hearing stuff here that they may need, right?
Yep.
And what I always say, it could be you or someone that you know, because that's what networking is all about, is to tell them about it. And today I think we know, almost everyone knows, especially a woman, right? I think maybe because in debt, because either they've gotten in divorce, let's say, and or just life happens. Life gets in the way.
Student loans.
Student loans. Oh
Yep.
my goodness gracious, student loans. Now, I do want to say at the break we were talking a little bit about some people, and you right away just rolled off people who smoke, people who drink coffee, and people who shop.
Yep.
Right? Oh, how hard it is, especially if you are addicted to smoking. Smoking, you said, had a story about somebody that you don't smoke yourself, but have purchased something for somebody else. Carton of cigarettes, like over $100.
$106 here
Seems
in
like
Arizona.
a lot of money.
And the person repaid me for that, but because I don't buy cigarettes for anybody, I don't agree to it, and plus, it's bad for you.
Right.
I'm in the health field
Oh,
too,
yeah.
and so it's like I'm not gonna try to kill you, but like I was saying off air, is like you roll up $106 for a carton of cigarettes. Roll up 5 20s, and there you go. There's your carton of cigarettes, and light them on fire.
Just
So-
light them on fire because
Because
that's all
that's
you're
what you're
doing.
doing, yep.
Exactly. Right. People who are desperate that find themselves, they want to go to the casinos because they're thinking that they're going to win. It's a hard thing to do. Or they gamble, just because they're addicted or what have you. It's fun to do, and maybe you're not. But again, that's plunking money down the drain too.
Oh yeah, and I've been to Vegas. I went to Vegas several years ago, And my budget for,
$20 is for
$20
mine.
bucks, $20 for gambling, I let that $20 go with me for 4 days. And I was in
That's
Vegas
called discipline.
because I got bored at the slot machines too. Blackjack, I don't really know how to play blackjack, and why I was in Vegas, I wanted to look at all the hotels,
Mhm.
and I enjoyed that because and I was with a friend of mine, so we enjoyed each other's time. So, but I didn't gamble. I don't gamble. If I go to the casino, $20 is all I bring.
But before you look at things, you wake up in the morning and literally it costs money,
Yeah.
right? So it must be hard. People say to you, what do people say to you when they're working with you? What do you get back from them?
Well, like I said earlier, is when they're tracking their expenses, they're amazed at what they're spending on certain things. And yes, I bring up coffee all the time because that's what people
Spend the
buy
most
most on coffee, or they go shopping for clothes and travel. I rather spend money when I have it on experiences than things, because you can't get the money back from your clothes or car, whatever. You buy a new car, as soon as you drive out of the lot, it's depreciated by 15-20%.
But somebody's going to say, well, but I love the experience of drinking the coffee, and in the morning it wakes me up and it feels so good going down.
But you can also have, and I like coffee, and I have a
I like
coffee
mine
maker.
too.
I have a coffee maker at home. I put it on and I make it the way I want to, and I spend $5 or $6 or $7 on a big jug of coffee, and that's $5 or $6.
You have to
a
learn to be
Yes.
resourceful is really
Yes.
what the answer is.
month. It is. It's resourceful, and you just have to learn to budget.
I call it being my own financial advisor,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
have to know when to stop what you're doing, and especially when we get into debt,
Yes.
when we're using credit cards more and more and more.
Of
right?
course, and it hurts more to use cash than credit cards. We're always swiping, we're always,
Right.
and now we're tapping,
Mhm.
to get those expenses paid. But if you use cash, you actually have to take it out and you get to see it go away.
Mhm.
You know it's going away and that's not coming back to you.
Right.
Yes, you have your paycheck coming in, and I work with people daily and with my coaching on a daily basis. And when I tell them to use cash, it's foreign to them, but then they's like, oh wow, it does hurt to
Yeah.
use cash.
Right. It's
So-
important to watch what you're doing, and
Yep.
so one of the other things that's so easy to do is when you're on Amazon and you're sitting there, whatever you're doing, and scrolling down, and even things that are inexpensive add up,
Right.
right? And the next thing you know, you've spent $100 and something, and you didn't really mean to do it. And then here's something else that I thought about. One of the things that I was thinking was people who buy stuff on Amazon and mean to return it, and let's say they don't or whatever. Now, they don't get that money back. They might get
No.
a credit, but now
Right.
that's money's gone.
Right.
So these are the things that you don't think about, that when you do, or you have somebody that you're being accountable to,
Right.
that's saying, listen, you better think about these things, and you're asking them and you're talking to them constantly about it.
Mhm.
That's that makes them happy.
That's what it is. And I teach my clients how to get out of debt quickly. And like analyzing their spending, and it's an eye opener for them. And then once they pay off a bill, we celebrate.
What do you celebrate with? A cup of coffee?
No, we celebrate by, I send them little things, and when they pay off a huge bill, I may treat them to something.
I think that's awesome, because you know what? You do have to do that, right?
You have to celebrate the wins, and
Mhm.
and when they are debt free, it's like, oh my gosh, and they have so much money left over that they could, like I said, invest it, go out and do whatever. But I always make sure that they don't repeat the cycle.
That's the other thing, is how many times do you repeat it?
Right,
Right.
and then, with getting out of debt and financial, it's 20% knowledge, 80% behavior. You're changing your behavior so you won't go back in debt.
And that's where you come in. First
Yes.
of all, what I love about her is not how fast you were $50,000 in debt, and within 22 months,
20 months.
20 months, you are out of debt completely. You have clients that can attest to how fast you've done it for
Yep.
them, and that is the bottom line. Not only getting out of debt, but doing it fast and keeping yourself out of debt as well.
Yes.
She can help you with budget. She can help you with tips. She's going to obviously be your accountability partner. There's nothing like having somebody out there helping you go through. Probably one of the toughest things that people do is they're watching their money.
Oh, yeah, and especially, excuse me, today's day, and gas is so expensive, and various things. Eating out. My sister was in town because I just moved into a new place, and we went out. We went to Subway, and we were having subs. I'm thinking about, am I in
That's what they serve
Massachusetts?
there.
I
at
know, but
Subway.
no. In Massachusetts, we call them grinders.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, no, that grinders. So we were having subs, and I bought her lunch because of all the help that she gave me. 2 subs, sodas, and chips, $32.
Yeah, today even
Is it-
fast food is expensive.
Yes,
It's
and that's-
amazing.
And I don't go out to eat very much. I can't. That's the first time ate out in months.
But you know what most people do, and the reason why is number one, it's convenient. That's the biggest thing, is it's late, they've worked all day long, it's hot, they don't wanna turn on the stove, they don't wanna cook, especially now, so we're gonna run out. Every time I've done this with my ex-husband, I was like, let's go out, we'll take the kids, let's just run out and get something to eat. It's $150 later. That is crazy how
It
much
is
things
crazy.
are so expensive today. So it's easy to get yourself into debt.
Yeah, but it is, and then you want an emergency fund. I always tell my clients to have an emergency fund. Anywhere for the starting emergency fund. It's anywhere from $500 to $1,000.
So you want to call her direct. It's 808-253-1157. She will help you. Any woman over 40, she will help get out of debt fast. Not only just out of debt, but fast. You can check her out on her website. It's yourdebtfreequickly.com. Again, check her out either on the website or give her a call at 808-253-1157. Hang tight. We're going to be back in just a minute. Do you like that?
Yeah.
So you had said that for you, one of your best, not best, but favorite things is helping them realize it's an eye-opener of what they're spending their
Yeah.
money on.
And I like that, and I like actually working with the client themselves, like we're doing one-on-one
Yeah,
type deals.
yeah.
And then, like I'm a social worker too. What I don't like about my job is the paperwork. And what I don't like about my business is the paperwork. And so I like to be with the
Yeah.
with the client.
Yeah,
And I do the paperwork in the background.
yeah. You would be very, I'm very proud of my daughter, my oldest daughter. My younger daughter, but she's not in debt. The funny thing is she's not in debt. I don't know how she does it. She buys more stuff than I've ever seen anyone, and not cheap, okay? But she also saves money. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
my older daughter did it herself a couple of years ago.
That's
And it
good.
was really cool to see a young person
Yes,
that was focused on doing that.
that's great.
Everything but obviously her student debt, but that's gonna be paid by grandma,
Oh,
so she's lucky on that one.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
good,
Yeah, but to have the discipline, right? It
It's
shows
to
you
have the
the-
discipline and going through the steps. And I have a debt program. It's a debt-free project. I call it a project.
Okay,
And it's you tracking, analyzing, accountability, and then action. I know I'm missing one of my actions, but
actions. Mhm.
but it's like this. It's a project, and I talk to the people about it, and I have it written down, and I have it in a diagram also, because some people are visual and some people are.
So,
Yeah.
real quickly, when we come back, I wanna talk about that, or when we
Okay.
say your information, then we'll go right into it.
Okay.
Just write that.
Yep. And so, it's great, and I enjoy having the women
It's
do that.
rewarding,
Yeah,
what you do.
and that's how I got out of debt.
Was by somebody helping you.
Yes, but I did it really well having the accountability partner, but I developed this program while I was getting out of debt.
Oh, okay.
So,
So you knew it worked.
tracking, analyzing.
proven.
Yes,
Proven.
yep. Tracking, analyzing, accountability, action, take action. And I can't remember the other one.
Well,
I
so
see
you
it in my
said,
head.
write it down, so let's see what it is. So it's,
Tracking, analyzing, accountability, budget, and then action.
see what you write down.
Yep. I knew there's one other thing in there, so.
Okay.
Two minutes.
Okay. But that's the program I developed when I was getting out of debt, and it worked immensely. And that's what I teach the women that I work with, is that. And I would like to mention my Facebook page.
Okay, what is your Facebook page?
KMR Personal Financial Coaching Services.
Okay.
Yep. And if they join my Facebook page, they could see my videos and my tips that I do almost daily. You know, I got in Facebook jail a couple of days ago.
I got in, YouTube
Yeah.
jail for a second.
They said that my account was suspended for 180 days.
For what though?
Community standards.
Oh my God.
That's what they said, community standards. And then I got a text saying that if you appeal, you could appeal, and it'll be, and I did appeal it, and I was out of it the couple
That's
days
cool.
later.
I had somebody else's video up that talked about health, but she talked about COVID.
Oh, yes.
I didn't know,
Yep.
and so and I had to take a little training thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
But no, mine was I don't know what it said, community standards.
Yeah, they all.
I don't
yeah.
know what community standards are.
Yeah, I don't either.
What
but,
they were.
And then this whole thing, I was just like guessing the answers. It was sort of obvious, but
Yeah.
yeah. It's weird to know that there's a big brother out there watching every little
Oh,
thing
yeah.
you do anyway. So welcome back, everyone. We're going to be continuing talking with Karen today. First, I want to get out a couple of other things about her personal finance coaching. Again, she's not a financial advisor in any way, shape, or form. She is a coach and got herself out of debt, out of how much? You said 20 months.
20 months, $50,000.
$50,000, and you've done a lot of other people. You do
Yep.
like to work with women over 40. They are your sweet spot right there.
Yes, yes.
At the break, we were talking a little bit about, you have a proven, it's called a debt-free project. That's what you call it.
Yeah.
And it's proven because it's worked for not only you, but for other people that
Right.
you work with. Go
Right.
ahead.
In the debt-free project that I developed while I was getting out of debt is 1, tracking, 2, analyzing, 3, accountability, 4, budget, and 5 is action.
Mm-hmm.
And and we work through those when I'm coaching with you, and we go through each step And the action and accountability partner are really the focus on the coaching, because we want the budget, because we want to make sure that you're doing the budget and that you're sticking to your budget. And the action is doing something about getting out of debt.
And a lot of people out there can think, well, I could do that on my own, but it's not so easy. Everybody knows how easy it is to falter, and that's where
Oh,
you come
yes.
in, because the accountability partner, there's nothing like it. Karen also has a Facebook page that she'd like you to go check out, which is KMR Personal Financial Services, and you can go
Coaching
there.
services.
Coaching services, and you can go there and see her videos. You can also see her tips and all sorts of things that she has there as well. Karen, you have a personal story
Oh, yes.
about your life as a child growing up and health-wise that got you to the point becoming now also an author.
Mhm.
And we have your book here. We're going to show it on Facebook to everybody out there. And it's My 12 Hours Aren't Up Yet. Please tell them a little bit about you and why you wrote this book.
Oh, and by the way, I'm a bestseller author.
A bestseller. Sorry.
Sorry.
Bestseller
Author
Mhm.
from Amazon. I was born with a very, very serious heart condition. And when I was born, the doctors told my parents that I would not live to see my first birthday. I'm gonna be 61 in September, so I don't remember my first birthday, but I'll remember my 61st.
Mm-hmm.
But what it was is I was in the hospital all the time, in and out of the hospital. I had to have several open heart surgeries, and I had strokes, I had a cardiac death throughout my life, and I had scoliosis, and I have a rod in my back, and through all that, and I also had a baby, which I wasn't supposed to have. And to give you a little
Weren't
bit,
supposed to breathe, let
I know.
alone have a baby.
to give you more detail, I had 6 open heart surgeries, 2 strokes, 2 bouts of bacteria endocarditis, which is a infection to the heart, 7 pacemakers, 2 defibrillators, a child, a cardiac death, and then I had 2 defibrillators after the cardiac death. And then at 42, I turned 42, jumped out of an airplane because I was 42 and I lived to 42. And 6 months after that, I was told that I needed a heart transplant. Now, throughout my life, I was told that I may need a transplant. Well, at 42, they told me I needed one. I got on the transplant list. They did the excuse me, the test and everything, and I ended up on the transplant list in February of 2006, and I got my heart on April 21st, 2006. It has been 18 years since my transplant, and I am doing fantastic. And it's been great, and I feel awesome. I've jumped out of airplanes. I have rappelled off of 40-story buildings in Hawaii. I have climbed mountains in Yosemite.
This little lady is unbelievable.
And I did a hot air balloon ride. So
And got a divorce, all on top of that.
Oh, I got the divorce before my transplant. And I raised a child. And so this is it. And my book, My 12 Hours Aren't Up Yet, is all about that.
Right.
And the proceeds to this book goes to my nonprofit. I have a nonprofit, Your New Lease on Life Foundation. It is for transplant patients. And the funding for that, it helps with co-pays for the hospital or medical payments. It co-pays for medications. If the patient is traveling more than 2 hours or 200 miles, then if their insurance is not covering it, we will cover lodging and travel for them. And it's I know how much a heart transplant is, or a transplant is, and I just want to help them because it's very expensive.
Well, it's so cool. first of all, congratulations to what you've been through, which is amazing. And your 12 hours certainly aren't up yet.
No.
You have a long ways to go.
Yes.
And you love helping people. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's someone that you know that is dealing with challenges like this.
Yes.
And if you do, this is the book for you, because it can help you and show you if someone like you who can get through what you have, believe me, it'll make them want to get through it too.
Oh yeah, it's encouragement. And the reason, the way I got to the title is when I was 12 years old, I had my 5th open heart surgery. They told my parents, and this is the only open heart surgery that they talked to me about because I was old enough to understand some of it. And they told my family, my parents, that it's a 50-50% chance of me surviving the surgery. And if I survived the surgery, I would only have 12 hours to live. Because it was a new surgery in the US and it was developed in the UK. And the doctor that I had that did my surgery, he's done a few of them, but there were several people that passed away, children, I should say, that passed away during the surgery. 6 weeks after my surgery, I saw my surgeon and he goes, "Who are you?" And I was 12, I had an attitude. I said, "I'm Karen Rosner." He goes, "I only gave you 12 hours to live." I was like, "My 12 hours aren't up yet." And my mother's like, "Karen," you know. But the doctor gave me a kiss on the cheek and gave me a hug and said, "Have a good life."
Isn't that awesome?
I outlived that doctor.
Wow. So one of the things that you like to say, and you said it earlier today, is that they told you can't, so you did.
They told me I couldn't, and that's
Yeah.
why I did.
Okay. And listen up, folks. Everybody out there, when you listen to her story and what you've been through and how you've made such a wonderful life for yourself out of something bad, you made lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you weren't going to let anything get in your way. Your foundation, which is awesome. It's your new lease on life foundation. All the proceeds for this book goes to it, and it helps people that are having those transplants and
Yes.
things. And it helps because, you know, it's so expensive. I never even realized that the lodging and all of that comes into play. When you've never been through something like that before, you just don't know what you don't know, right?
And the thing is, with the book and the funding for it, when you have a transplant, or when somebody has a transplant, you have to stay in the area. You have to maintain your income, your household, back where you're living, and then you have to have a hotel and food and everything where you're staying, because you have to be near the hospital for at least a month.
So the book is called My 12 Hours Aren't Up Yet, and you can go up onto her website. Well, check it out at Your New Lease on Life Foundation. Go there. We're going to be back in just a minute. This book is incredible, and so is she.
Thank you.
We're going to keep on going. I got this for you.
Thank you. I just
Are you okay?
Oh, there we go. I just got dry mouth and I got something got stuck.
Yeah, I know.
you know.
That's why I wanted
Yeah.
to give that to you, just in case
So-
you needed it.
Yes. So, all right.
Yeah. I mean, what's that?
Strawberry.
Oh, yeah. I think that what's really cool is that you can help people too that might be going through this and what they need to do,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Because that's something that, I mean, I don't know how many people you know, there's a lot more than I would know.
Well, I'm a transplant social worker also, and I see transplant patients every day.
It's amazing that there's so
Yeah.
many.
There is, and
Is liver one of the number one? Or what is it?
No, kidney's number one.
Kidney number one?
Heart is second. Kidney, liver is up there.
Yeah,
So kidney is number one.
kidney.
Yep. So, and kidney because of diabetes and also hypertension. Hypertension can kill a kidney too.
Oh.
So,
My ex was just in the hospital recently for 4 days because his kidneys were failing, and they were failing because he has a blockage. It's not even something he would know that he had, and he was looking terrible. I mean, I'm telling you, for like 3 months, we were all saying, "You look really bad," you know, and he wasn't listening to anybody.
They usually don't.
Yeah, he doesn't. They don't. And what happened was he ended up, he had a blood test done. Finally, he went to a doctor. He was just having a little annual checkup, and they did blood work. And the lab calls him up that night and says, "Mr. Blonder, you got to go to the hospital right now." So, you know, you don't want to get that phone call. So he got
I've
the
had
phone.
that phone call.
It's terrible. And
Yep.
he went and had to have 2 blood transfusions, and they're still going to figure out why it's happening. He might end up having some type of a procedure that they do, but
I don't know. Sometimes it happens.
yes.
It does happen. But no, the patients that I see are mainly liver, and some people have fatty liver, some people have, you know, autoimmune issues, some people have liver cancer, and if the lesions are a certain amount or within a certain amount, they can take them away, and if they come back, no, they may be ready for a transplant.
Amazing. Here we go, honey. Welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Karen ROSNER. Not only is she a personal financial coach that she can help you with getting out of debt fast, but she also is an author. She's been through a tremendous amount of health issues since you were born.
Yes.
And she wasn't supposed to live, and she said to the doctor, "My 12 hours aren't up yet." And certainly, not only did she outlive what she said, the 12 hours, but also the doctor himself.
Yeah.
So she's still kicking here, and she's helping people. But that's what you're all about, is really helping
Yeah,
people.
really helping people. And when I told the doctor that, or when they told me that was back in 1975.
Wow.
That was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lifetime ago, it seems like. I'm like, now I'm not. Thinking about it right now, it's like, wow, I'm getting old. But I'm not.
But you're also a social worker.
I am a social worker. I'm a medical social worker, and I work at a local hospital, and I'm a transplant social worker. So I know various things about the transplant process. I know about them as a social worker, and I know about them as a patient. And when the patient, and I do share with my patients that I am a recipient, a heart recipient of 18 years, they're like, "What do you do?" And I was like, I say my 2 best friends, which is tacrolimus and sirolimus, my immunosuppressant medications, is keeping me alive, and that's what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is take your medicine every time when they tell you. Don't skip your medications.
The other thing that you also can help people with, being that you are a social worker and in the medical field of this, that people don't realize that you can help them get out of debt with their medical issues, because you can, if you go through all of those, you know what you could get, I don't want to say dismissed, right?
Right.
And that's another thing that's great with working with her. If you're in medical debt, she knows what to do and what to look for and how to do it.
I have resources that I share with my patients and my clients. If they have anything medically, I have a bunch of resources. I have a bunch of tools. One of my clients that I am working with currently is, she had an ambulance bill, and she is not working. She has some health issues. And I talked to the insurance company, the ambulance company, and I got rid of $6,000 of ambulance ride from her.
This is why you want to call her, because, and so many people have medical debt, right? And so her phone number to call direct is 808-253-1157. You can check her out either on her website, which is yourdebtfreequickly.com, or also you can go to her foundation. She would love for you to check it out. She is a best-selling author at Amazon.
Yep.
And the website for or to check out the foundation is Your New Lease on Life Foundation. There's so many things that you can help with. Maybe you're going through a process of just health issues.
Yes.
That alone you can help them with.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
to talk.
Just to talk, and you know, and the process and the journey of a transplant. And like I said, people that I take my medicine on a regular basis. I do not skip my medicine. And that's why I've been around 18 years after my transplant. And now people are going longer. And when they talk to me, they're encouraging. And they're encouraged by how long I've lived after a transplant. And they're like, no, it's not a death sentence. And you want to make sure that if you can keep your original organs. I could not keep my heart. My old heart. I wouldn't be here sitting there talking to you, Carol, if I kept my old heart, because my heart was at 8%.
Whoever heart you got, it was a big heart.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is something about you that I know. You're all about, again, giving and helping, assisting
Yep.
people. Obviously, right now, we're talking about anyone that could be dealing with health issues or, obviously, if you're dealing with having a transplant, she's the person to talk to. Helping people,
Yep.
women especially, over 40, getting out of debt. You're all about that.
Oh yes, and I want to help people. I serve people, and I enjoy working with people.
You know what we want to talk about before we forget?